The article I chose is titled Grading: The Issue is Not How, But Why, by Alfie Kohn, an American lecturer and author known for challenging widely accepted practices such as homework and grades. He's commonly quoted saying that extrinsic rewards and punishments, like grades, are unmotivating. And you should notice this same opinion as I take you through the key points of the article. Kohn asks, are we as teachers questioning why we evaluate? He breaks down this questioning into 3 levels. At level 1, a teacher just cares about how he's grading. At level 2, a teacher starts caring about how valid the assessment is. And at level 3, a teacher starts to question why certain things are being assessed in the first place. Kohn then evaluates reasons teachers commonly use to defend grading. Using grades to sort the students, using grades to motivate the students, and using grades to give feedback. Kohn finds that none of these reasons are good for learning. He then compares the traditional demand model of evaluation to the support model of evaluation. The demand model puts students as workers who must meet teacher goals. If students don't learn, it's their fault, not the teacher's. Kohn recommends the support model, where students have a large role in what they learn and how they learn it, with the teacher serving as a helpful guide. To build on the support model, Kohn highlights 5 principles of supportive assessment. Number 1, don't assess too much. Number 2, see how interested students are by observation. Number 3, create a safe learning environment. Number 4, always critically look at the curriculum. And number 5, let students help choose how they'll be evaluated. Let me now talk about how the article compares to the Growing Success document, point by point. In terms of Kohn's leveling system, the ministry seems to fare well. It addresses the why question by stating that the purpose of evaluation is assessment of learning. According to the document, evaluation is used to summarize a student's learning at a given time. This puts the ministry at level 3 of Kohn's leveling system. To bring up another key point in the article, consider Kohn's criticism of using grades to sort, motivate, and give feedback. While Kohn disagrees with using grades to order students, the ministry takes advantage of grades for sorting, saying that employers and universities can use grades to order and compare students easily. Where Kohn thinks grades are extrinsic motivators, the Growing Success document makes no remarks about this. It does comment, however, on using learning goals and feedback to motivate students. In terms of feedback, Kohn and the ministry both agree that descriptive feedback is effective. In the article, Kohn brings up the point that a support model is more effective than a demand model. The ministry chooses a middle ground here. It says that learning goals and expectations from the ministry should be shared between students and teachers. Essentially, students and teachers both have a direct role in student learning. But, according to the ministry, they do not both have a role in determining evaluation criteria. Where Kohn thinks students should be able to make their own grading criteria, the ministry takes the opposite position, that grading criteria should be assigned by the teacher only. Now that I've related the article to the Growing Success document, it's time to take a look at how this article relates to my experiences as both a teacher candidate and a student. I recall in my high school placement giving certain stickers to students with 70% and above on tests, and no stickers to students with 69% or below. I now realize that the stickers only emphasize this gap between B and C students and other grade categories. I can also think of many times as a student where I would study hard to achieve high grades in a class that I didn't really care for. My motivation was the reward of high grades. I was extrinsically motivated, like Kohn mentions in his article. Finally, Kohn's recommendation for supportive assessment, and specifically, the part that mentions students should help make decisions about their learning and evaluation on their own, reminds me of my second to last day of high school placement. On this day, a student who missed the previous day's test informed me that he was away because of his father's funeral. I then gave him the option to not take the test. His mark would just be reweighed. Essentially, this was supportive assessment because the student had a choice about his evaluation. For the last part of this presentation, I'll mention a few applications of the key ideas from the article on my future teaching practices. To start, the key point about constructive feedback influences my teaching practices because it inspires me to include more constructive and detailed comments on student evaluations so that they can better approach the learning goals. In addition, the key point on motivation will help me to better motivate students intrinsically. For example, I could give students an article assignment where they can each pick their own topic that most interests them. Finally, to create a safe and caring learning environment, in my future classroom I could minimize the fear and anxiety of presenting and participating by including Think, Pair, Share for a few minutes before I ask for participation in a problem, and also by allowing students to present in small groups and get feedback before presenting to the class.